G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Friday, the 3rd of July 2020, and the time here is 18:10 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well, folks, plenty going on, and I'll explain all in a second. Let's do my sponsor first. This is my great sponsor, Totally Rawsome, who make golden activated turmeric paste and various other things for dogs and your diet. Golden activated turmeric paste, folks, if you do not know what it is, you are missing out. It is a lifesaver if you're older and you've got joint pain, etc. Look, don't take my word for it. Look in the comment sections about people who have tried it, and it is fantastic. And I'm being honest about that, folks. I wouldn't recommend it if it didn't work. You can contact the guys. Oh, we've got a new Markets in the Meadow, Gold Coast Turf Club, Race Course Drive Bundle every Sunday, 6 a.m. to 12. And contact us, 0433 165 848 and info@totallyrawsome.com.au. Right, let's get down to it. You're all wondering, I've read the comments on my comments page on my last post, and everyone was going, where are you, Prep? Everything's going on, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so cool heads, guys. Keep calm. What's been going on here with me is that I've just been sitting back and waiting for, just looking at the way things are being progressing and the way that they were going to progress. There's no, there's no magic psychic thing here or anything, folks. What you're seeing has been told by myself and others all this time, and it's all come to pass. Now, I said to my son, I said, we will not get past the 20th of June without some serious problems in the US. And of course, what happened? And I'm pretty sure I said that in my last video as well. We do not get through June without some serious issues in the US. If you do not believe that the US is in actual state of civil war, then you are, quite frankly, you're deluded. Now, where do we go from here with the China thing and everything that's going on? Okay, if you understand what's going on in your brain, or how your brain works and how these guys shove shit at you, you can't keep up with everything. It's impossible. So I made I don't know, maybe it's a rash decision. I made the decision to sort of sit back and analyze everything that was coming in. Some of it's bullshit. A small minority of it is bullshit. A lot of it is factual. COVID-19 is factual, but it's a load of bullshit. So you're kind of like, okay, well, a sane, reasonable person will be looking at COVID-19 and going, this is bullshit. I can tell you it's bullshit for one simple reason. If it kills elderly people, why the fire trucking in hell are they so animated about sports people contracting this virus? You've got to stay apart. We can't have crowds. We can't have the teams. The teams this is how it is in Australia, right? Because we're one of the few countries in the world playing physical sport, right? We've got these teams that are in hubs for their own protection. Now, as far as I know, no sports person of any sport that I know of, maybe lawn bowls, has died. Not one. So why the hell are they making such a fuss about the sports people? And I finally clicked the other day and I went, well, if they scare the shit out of me about sports people, then oh my God, my sports hero's been locked in a hub, but he can still play the sport that I love. You see what they're doing there? They're subverting your brain into two different things here. Okay, it must be bad because they're locking my sports people down, but they're doing the right thing and playing sport so they please me. You see how this was working? This is absolute bullshit, folks. Ask yourself a serious question. Has any sports person who's contracted COVID-19 or coronavirus or the Wuhan virus or whatever the fuck you want to call it, has any of them ever died? No. Has any sports person who's contracted coronavirus passed it on to anybody and killed anybody? No. Okay, I'm just waiting for that to click in a bit. Look, this coronavirus is bullshit. And look, if you're in America, this is how it's working out, and in the UK, this is how it's working out here now. We now have, and if you go and do this, you're an absolute tool. We now have mouth swabs for coronavirus here in Australia. They developed a swab in your mouth. Sorry, what do you call it? It's like a DNA test. Well, it is actually a DNA test. Sorry, oh, there you go. It's back on. It's a DNA test, basically. So all these bozos here in Australia are rushing in, going like that. That goes to the lab. They go, okay, Prep Aussie, right, address, blah, 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 bang. DNA sample, done. Think I'm bullshitting? Go and find out. If you're that bloody stupid that you don't understand what they're doing with the spit tests, then you are an absolute tool. Here's something else. Why can you not get a blood test for coronavirus? It's a virus. Every other virus I've ever had, I get tested. If I'm feeling really shit, I go to the doctors and get a blood test. He goes, oh, you got a virus. Why can you not get a blood test for coronavirus? Sorry, let me change the lights here. This one's playing up a bit. That's better. Does that make sense to anyone else? Now, let's focus on the reality of things here a little bit. Trump quite rightly said, this cracks me up, Trump is not a politician. I don't know why everyone keeps saying he's got to say things like a politician. He's not a politician. He's just a normal bloke, a builder who got a job as the president. So, look, let's just talk about this rationally. Okay, now you have 330 million people living in America. If you ramp up your testing 150%, then I'm guaranteed that you're going to get more coronavirus cases. Is that not feasible and logical? But here's the other thing. The death rate in America is going the opposite way. Oops. Come on, guys, this is serious. Eh? This is really, really serious. These guys are not going to stop. And I meant to say the other reason I haven't done videos as well, guys, is that YouTube mucked around with my sound on my last video. Some people could see it or listen to it, and some people couldn't. Don't know why. So I just thought I might as well just take a break. There's no point. Which is another thing that amazes me about these people carrying on about YouTube and Twitter and everyone else. If you think you're going to get on this and spruik conservative values and not get banned, then why are you doing it? Right. So if you're in America, this is how this is going to move forward. Very soon, I'm predicting 7 to 10 days from now. See if I'm right. Somewhere in America is going to go pear-shaped, and it's going to have to go into martial law. At that time, right? And they're going to blame the Republicans for this. Very shortly after that, you are going to see a mass migration of people, blue and red. That is when the shit is going to hit the fan. You're going to have rational people saying, I'm not going to live in New York anymore. It's lawless. It's got coronavirus. It's in lockdown. Nobody's dying. And if anybody is dying, they're 95 and they're in a wheelchair. And that's sad. But look, this is the reality of this, right? Let's not overstate it. There is people that died from coronavirus with non-existing conditions, but 0.000, I heard it the other day, it was so minimal, it was ridiculous. So you're going to get a mass migration very soon in America. And I'm saying this because I know this is fact. I have family in America, and they are making preparations now, not at my behest, of getting out of where they are or making plans to move to a different state where they feel more comfortable, because they don't feel safe in the state that they're in because they're Christians. Look, this is going on now. Like while you and I are watching, I'm talking and I'm doing this and you guys are watching, this shit's going on right now in America. So all of you out there who think this is just some made up fantasy dreamland, I want to know if there is people that watch this that think that, but if you do, if you're new and you think that, then don't watch anymore. Go and watch some other shit on YouTube. Right. The US is absolutely hammering China. They are hemorrhaging money, China. Honestly, folks, they are printing money. If you think the US is printing money, China is just going ballistic. They are now a real, and they've got themselves into a situation where the only way out of this now for China is war, is taking over people and taking over their possessions and gold and, you know, all that sort of shit. They are dead flat broke. They've got 120 million people in the army or whatever the friggin' hell they've got. They've got 1 billion people to feed. Why do you think they're going after India? They're not going after India because of the thing. They're going after India because of the crops, water. The water up in that valley, by the way, feeds India. It doesn't feed China. A little bit. I don't know if you know that or not. That's why China's going for it. That's going to get ugly real quick. Now, the real worry with China is that when they finally get belligerent enough to either attack somebody, can I just say something, right? I see these things on the news about China, and I'm just bemused, right? Here's the thing. Do this. Just test yourself on this. I'd show you on this, but I don't want to muck around with YouTube. In the Second World War, right, before the Second World War, they had this bloke called Adolf Hitler, who, you know, Germany, blah, 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 raised people, got masses of people in the military, took all the guns off everybody, made everyone go on lockdown here and there, started manufacturing shit for the world. You didn't know that, did you? But Germany started because Germany was so cheap, Germany started making shit. That's why they became so big in production. They made VW cars. They made armaments. They made ships because it was cheap, because they had no money. So you could build something there for next to nothing. And then Hitler came along, boosted everything, made production even better, started conscripting everybody, built these massive armies, and then started doing parades. Now, the reason I'm saying that, right, is go and find a picture of, a video on YouTube of Adolf Hitler in a car. Sieg, you know what I mean? Doing the big Nazi salute and everything else with all the rednecks down at the Ponderosa. Then, right, go and find a picture or a video, of Chairman whatever his name is, the puffed up, funny looking fella from China, doing exactly the same thing. Doing parades in front of hundreds of thousands of troops. How do you think this is going to work out, folks? In the last the last 10 days, the Australian Prime Minister has literally come out and said, we are at war with China. Cyber war, and he literally said, we are at war because of the current conditions in the world, and we are preparing for war. Go and find it. If you don't believe me, if you missed it, go and find it. It's on Sky News. This ain't going to end well. And if you're wondering where I've been for the last 3 weeks, I've just been sitting back and watching, listening, and preparing. Because that was the whole purpose of this show, Prep Aussie. I've been building fences, security for my chickens, you name it, I've been doing it. And it's killing me because of my illness, but I'm not flogging myself stupid or anything, but I'm trying to get there. So it takes me a little bit longer. See, I'm tired now. A little bit longer to do things than normal. It takes a lot longer than normal, actually. But I'm giving it a go. So my point being is that at one stage in the future, the rhetoric is going to stop being rhetoric. I hope you understand that. If you don't understand that, then you need to go on YouTube and you need to go and watch Adolf Hitler in a car saluting the Nazis who were going to take over the world, and then watch a picture or a movie, a video of the fat panda guy, puffed up panda in the limousine with the speakers popping out of the thing going Sieg Heil in Chinese. And I've got a warning for you guys. Maybe Chinese military watches or whatever they do for my videos. You probably think they do, just to gauge people, I don't know. So let me tell you this, Mr. Chinese military. When you do stupidly come here and invade Australia, you will have victories. Because if you're sensible enough, you'll probably take a big city to start with, and it'll be mass pandemonium. But remember this, we are going to fight to the very last person, and we are going to get you out of this place. And I ain't going to die easy. And it's going to be horrible for you. We will drag you into the desert and kill you, literally. The bush in Australia is a big, bad place. So just remember that. And I'm going to be there because I ain't going anywhere yet. So just a word of warning. You may think that it's going to be easy peasy because Australia is going to capitulate very easily. That will not be the case. Your life here will be an absolute misery. And I'm prepared to do that for the next 10 years if I have to. So be warned. And I'm not the only one. Enough said. So, where do we go from here? Well, they're not going to come to Australia straight away, the Chinese. They will overtake. It's a long way for them to get here. So they'll do it the round trip. They'll go to Taiwan, then they'll take over the Philippines, Vietnam, because that's right next to them, Cambodia, Vietnam, blah, blah, blah. They'll take up all the vassal states. And then they'll start launching missiles from the South China Sea to Australia, to Pine Gap, Darwin, Brisbane. Don't think they get to Sydney. That's that's about a 10-hour, 7-hour flight for a missile. So I don't think that's going to make it. Might do. But that's how this is going to play out. The Australian government, hang on. The Australian government, in their ultimate wisdom, if they had any brains at all, would start building armories for people like us, so that when the shit does hit the fan, we have defense. One bullet can kill one person. One gun with someone who knows how to use it can kill 50. And we need those guns. And for all you people out there that go, oh, you don't need guns. Well, just remember that when you're running down the street being chased by the Chinese who've got ample ammunition and ample guns, because they're just going to chop you down, buddy. Me, I won't be there. I'll be in the bush with a gun and as bows and arrows and machetes and whatever arrows, whatever I can find. So my plea to the Australian government at this point is start building armories in the city, in the bush, wherever you can build them, because we're going to need them, and stock them full of guns. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Sounds appalling, actually. But unfortunately, that's where we're going, folks, because this ain't going anywhere else. You think this is going to go anywhere else? Stop watching my YouTube thing and start watching tree hugging channels. By the way, Chinese chop down trees, they don't hug them. All right. I think I've got the message across. Let's do the prayers. One other thing before I do the prayers. I've had these, and I don't know what I can actually call these, visitations, not visitations, just mental images, bizarre, like where to go, what's happening, all this sort of stuff, all out of the blue. So I've been sort of spending the last couple of weeks trying to get my head around that, whether it's God, whomever. I'm not a Christian per se. I'm a firm believer in God. So I've been doing some prayers and, personal prayers to God, to whomever this is, to see what happens. So I'll let you know as it goes on. But I'm not going down in the full, I'm a complete Christian or anything like that yet. I'm not like that anyway. I'm just going to keep a level head about it. Some of the things that have come into my head, folks, have been really left field, but when I've actually analysed them and gone into them a bit, they've actually all worked out. That's how weird this is. So I don't know if I'm losing it or I'm getting the correct info, but yeah, it's kind of freaky. I'm not going to tell you what any of it is, but it's yeah, different, that's for sure. Interesting. Okay, verse of the day. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. I'll read that again. That's a good one, isn't it? Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. And as always, folks, we'll end with the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay. It's been a while, I know. I kind of do apologise for that, but look, there's no rhyme or reason as to doing videos 3 or 4 times a week. I don't get paid for it. There's no need for me to do that. The news, if you want to be really honest, the news at the moment is not going to change that much. Just remember that. I will do one on financial next time because I've always said from day one, this is all about financial. Whether you want to believe that or not is up to you. But it's definitely financial, folks, and it's coming big time. All right. I hope you're all well wherever you are. God bless. Prep out.